Presenting the new Abnormal with Sriram and Shivaram.
Sriram Surya
And
Harsha Shivaram.
Hi guys, hi. Welcome to this brand new podcast. My name is Sriram Surya. With me, of course, is the one and only
Hello,
RJ Harsha Shivaram.
XRJ. Yeah.
People still remember you from all the TV shows that you used to do.
I hope so, because back then there was no YouTube and all.
So Harsha was a VJ with Udaya TV at one point of time, and even now when we go to places, there are people who come about and want to take pictures with him and not with me. How disappointing is that?
I think that's only partly true, but let me return the favor because, Ram has really set this up in a wonderful way. Ladies and gentlemen, as Sriram was rightly saying, please welcome to the new podcast, The New Abnormal with Sriram and Shivaram. Let me just clarify.
Okay.
With RJ Sriram Surya, one of the top RJs in the entire country, the man himself, and with me Harsha Shivaram, who was an ex-RJ. I don't know how, but I ended up becoming his boss. But actually, we'll come to all of that. Sriram, The New Abnormal is going to be a podcast where we are going to talk about everything that's normal, abnormal, paranormal, super normal. And the topic for the day? The theme that we want to talk about, sit and converse about?
So today it's going to be about the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, grass means, please don't mistake, it's not the kind of grass that people might be thinking about during work from home. Cow seed, that green color stuff, that is what we're going to talk about.
As organic in the right sense.
in the absolute right sense.
Yeah.
But grass is greener. I think you guys can take a pot shot and guess what we are talking about. The grass is greener here on this side. Reason being, I'm unmarried, and as all of us know, as Mr. Sriram talks about it on his show, the superhero show, every evening, I'm very sorry, Ram, you're married. You're a dad.
You're apologizing
How
about
long have you been in prison from? Let's start from the brass tacks.
Right.
Jail ಸೇರಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು, Sriram?
Wow.
Just joking. So.
I can't even remember.
Like how many
anymore.
years anniversary should I wish you?
Yeah, I can never ever forget the dates because if I do, then I'm
nice.
playing dangerously. But
Yeah.
yes, we are talking about married versus
Unmarried.
prefer to stay unmarried.
Correct.
So you see the contrast here, and Harsha very happily unmarried versus me.
You can see by the grin on my face. Ram is also grinning, but what is that for? Is it because you're married, or is it because there is something that's extra that's going on?
Happily married, I have to say that.
Okay.
I have to say that.
Are you sure, Ram?
Yeah,
you know that this is our first podcast.
Very, very
So
sure.
we have to be above board on this.
Exactly.
But let me go on.
I think coming to the question of 8 years. 8 years being married.
8 long years.
8 long years.
Talia, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, continue.
Past the 7-year itch,
Okay.
which I think you have no
So
idea
how did you
what it's
take care
about.
of the 7-year itch, Ram?
How did I take care of it?
Like, what did you do? I know that you don't talk about this on air, but since there's a podcast, it's time to talk about everything. Please, khulke bolo.
Just stay as loyal as possible and...
To whom? The wife.
The wife.
Oh, okay, sorry. Let me not get in.
The wife.
Okay.
Yes.
ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ್. Tell Sriram.
But life truly has taken a completely different turn after marriage. I got married really early. I was 26 when I got
You're 26?
married. I was 26.
I just turned 40 and I'm still not married. I'm not in jail. I'm happy. You can tell it from my name, Harsha, which means happiness.
Congratulations. Congratulations on being unmarried. And this is something that I don't recommend to a lot of my friends.
Marriage. No?
Yeah.
So you have already agreed with me.
I'm not saying that those who are married are unhappy. I'm just saying that it's not meant for everyone.
Yeah.
Because I think times are changing.
Yeah.
It was a great criteria at one point of time. I think the generation before us, that was one of their biggest life's achievements or aim, right?
Yeah.
And now people's independence and their freedom is so valued that it comes before anything else.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The gentleman has already agreed with me at the starting of the first podcast.
But let's talk about what is it that you do when I come back.
What is it that I do? I thought there's a family podcast. What are you talking about?
So, they truly say that शादी का लड्डू जो खाए पछताए जो ना
Laddu
खाए
you can eat without marriage also.
वो भी
You can
पछताए.
get cash from wedding. That's what we used to do in Jayanagar. This GNR Chowdhury is there, no?
Right.
We'll go great cash. People will think, bride will think they are part of the groom's family. Vice versa. Go enjoy laddu and come. Why do you have to put it in your mouth for the entire life is what I'm asking you.
That is very suggestive and I see how Harsha has wild times enjoying his singlehood right now. But of course, you're in a relationship and you prefer not to get married. Is that right?
Before getting into all that, Sriram,
See,
Ram
so
has
clearly he deviates
Yeah,
from
no,
it.
I'll come back to it. But what I'm trying to say is, Ram was just talking about the time when he got married, which was very young. Still is very young. Let me give you a picture of that. He was a Josephite.
Yeah.
Josephites are dynamites. That's what they say. I don't know if he's a dynamite anymore. On air he is. But at that time, during that time when you are in your 20s, Ram, so Sriram Surya had it all. He had the voice, he had the bike, he had the body, he had the ladies. Even now he has all of that. But the only difference is, he can't do anything about it because he's married.
Yeah, so it's like having all the superpowers.
Chanagide alla
using
punchline,
it.
Yeah, you can't use them, Ram. But let me ask you one more question. We were talking about wild things and all of that, and obviously that's one advantage of being unmarried.
Yeah.
You can explore yourself, you can explore your wild side, your not so wild side. I'm sure if you're married, if you've not done your responsibilities well, every night will be wild in a different way. But let me ask you one thing.
Yeah.
What is the favorite? There's a little digressing. I know it's supposed to be a family podcast. I'm sure there are kids watching it. They won't understand. So anyway, I'll ask. What is the favorite fetish of most married people? Can you answer this question, Mr. Sriram?
Favorite fetish?
Fetish.
I think just getting some time by yourself.
No, it is not that. It is not. I'm not talking about all that self-help and all. The favorite fetish, according to a survey of most married people, is BDSM. You know what is BDSM?
Yes.
See, I'm not talking about Bangalore Dairy Silk and Merchandise Department. It is BDSM that all of us know what it's about.
Right.
Because, again, if you don't take care of your responsibilities well, and if you don't get those groceries on time, every night you will get nice spanking. That is right. So, are you experiencing a nice BDSM in your married life?
I'm getting BDSM, plenty of it. Almost every night I'm getting lots of BDSM because of things I do and I don't do.
Yeah. But only thing is here it's non-consensual. The actual thing has to be consensual. Yeah. But is sensual still there, or after some years of marriage it kind of goes out of the window?
I think so. There is, how do I say this? So there, you end up getting habituated to a person. Of course, with time, individuals grow.
Right.
So people change with time. But
Yeah, but you can't change the people.
But you can't really change the people.
Ayo, Papa, such a nice handsome boy.
All
I'm
you
sorry.
can do is change yourself.
Ah.
And of course, parenting is another ball game altogether.
Yeah.
And now I'm a parent to a 3-year-old. So that's brought in another dimension altogether.
Yeah.
Where I definitely crave more attention. But there are different ways in which you can get it
I
in the
think, Ram,
marriage.
that's on a slightly more serious note. I think that's one part that I really admire about you and with married people and towards married people, right? You're expecting that I'll say something. I'm not going to say anything. What I'm saying is, I think that's a big responsibility. One side is, you're free. You don't have a kid coming in and you have to change the diapers and do your, equal parenting duty and all of that. But at the same time, I'm sure, that's a joy in itself, right? Like you get that intangible satisfaction of being there, seeing your kid. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many kids I have.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not married. So
there is this thing about Harsha that he's got a few kids running around in Thailand.
only few. Now they have closed, Papa. No tourism.
Yeah, so Harsha hasn't gone to meet his kids in a long time.
You have to go and pay for their education.
However, that is a reputation that's grown with time.
It's
right?
all untrue. I think it's all untrue, guys. Just because somebody is unmarried
Yeah.
doesn't mean he's having all the fun. We are looking, at grass is greener on the other side, right?
Yeah.
So, somewhere, I have also felt, probably I need a companion, somebody to talk with, somebody to laugh with, somebody to kind of share your sorrows with, somebody to fight with at least.
Right.
But I'll tell you one thing. It's not that I don't believe in the institution of marriage. I do believe in the institution of marriage. But I want to be happy. That's why I'm not married. Shall I ask you one question, Sriram?
Sure.
Very frankly, will you tell me? What is the difference and what is the similarity between a wife and a boss? Come on, you have to tell. Between the wife and the boss.
And a boss.
You need to tell.
Gosh, I don't know.
I have one ready-made answer for this, which is not very funny, but I'll still tell you.
Please.
The similarity between the wife and the boss is that you work for both of them. Correct? No, you work for the wife and the boss.
Yeah.
Only difference is boss pays. Salary might be cut during COVID, but boss pays.
Whereas wife,
Ah.
yeah, not really.
It also, I'll give you one more statistic that I was looking at, Ram. Unmarried men or unmarried people end up saving more than 63% of what married people save in terms of money and finance.
I bet.
What do you have to say for that?
I bet. It's
you're-
true. It's true.
Yeah.
But then again,
Huh.
I mean, You're living once. What are you doing with all that money?
Yeah, but you know what the disadvantage is? If you go to a foreign trip, like I'm somebody who really loves traveling.
Yeah.
Now, of course, only traveling is in Bangalore, Kamnalli, Linksandra and all that. But if I used to travel, no, again, I don't know if I should be saying it. Every time you travel on your own, you have some extra expenses also, which might not be there if you're married.
Right.
Because you want, because the wife will ask you, where are you going out at night? You can't say, I'm going to the supermarket to get yogurt and foreign chips packet. No.
Right.
So how do you manage that, Ram? I mean, on a side note, you are happening, you're the man, you are an influencer, you are a radio jockey. It is time to confess about what else you have done after marriage. Go for it. See, I can confess.
I think it is true that married people, you have to pay for those extra seats when you're traveling.
Yeah.
And of
And
course,
pay for extras as well.
and pay for extras as well. But then again, in terms of being single, you get to pack your bags and leave.
Right.
You get to go wherever
And-
you want to, whenever you want to.
Correct.
No questions asked, no responsibilities.
Yeah.
But time and again,
Huh.
do you feel I do need someone?
Right.
I'd rather have some company
Yeah.
in this travel rather than being alone
Yeah.
at this point of time. Interestingly enough, came across this survey which says that
Okay.
a lot of adults found that married men are healthier than men who
Healthier?
were never married.
What aspect of health are you talking about?
Yeah, but having said that, if you look deeper into this same survey,
Let's look deeper into this.
it says that if you follow people over time as they go from being single to being married and staying married, they end up no happier than they were when they were single. And those who are single, I believe, tend to be a better friend,
Okay.
tend to hang out more with people who've got friends. And of course, you're there for your family. When I say family, your parents, they're there for relatives and everything. Whereas once you're married, you
Tend
kind of
to-
get
okay.
cut off.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the philosophical side of superhero Sriram. Ram, you're talking about being happy.
Yeah.
I don't know how happy an unmarried person's life is, but the ending is always happy because we can afford to get happy endings. Sorry, please pardon the lame jokes, but it's true.
Yeah, well, we don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, but then I don't know who said this. You can Google it. Somebody said variety is the spice of life. So I don't know how spicy it gets after you're married. But shall we come back to the 7-year itch?
Yeah,
Like
sure.
for a lot of people, it's 7-day itch. Because especially working at home, they're not even washing their clothes every day. But tell me one thing, Sriram. Have you ever wished from your heart that, somewhere I got trapped in this institution of marriage? I would have been more free, more happy. I could have explored my bucket list, my interests if I was not married. Has that thought ever crossed your mind?
Of course.
Like
Look-
I've always felt, I'm not married. How would it have been if I were married?
Right.
Like right now I'm going to go home. Okay, my parents are there. But what if a companion was there?
Yeah.
They won't do all that. But one aarti and all, or whatever aarti they will do to you, I'm not even
Don't
looking-
expect any of that.
I know one shouldn't as well because times have changed. It's like it's equal parenting. It's and I think that's the way it should be. But at the same time, I've thought about that alternate scenario. Have you ever thought about it?
Yes, of course, because let's face it, I don't think there is this whole concept of a soulmate at all.
Yeah.
You're in a marriage.
Yeah,
you're
because
making
soul
things-
doesn't need to mate. It's only the physical body. Sorry, go on.
You're in a relationship and you're making it work. Two individuals are have decided to make it work,
Do you think it does work after a period of time?
and there are plenty of
But it's day-to-day
agreements,
adjustment, no?
plenty of disagreements that come with it, lots of fights, lots of arguments, but without all of that, would your life have been interesting? It's okay to have those fights and disagreements.
Let me put a proposition in front of you. What if you could have those same fights and disagreements, not with one person, but with multiple persons? Wouldn't that make it more exciting and spicier?
For sure.
Somewhere the desire is there in
if you
this
have all
boy's
the
mind.
time for it, for sure. But along the line, if you can't handle one, how are you handling so many?
That's also true. But Ram, when it comes to handling, I don't know if it's right for me to say handling people, managing people, because people are people at the end of the day. But I think whether you're married or not, life is a game of it's a game of managing various things. Managing one's own thoughts and emotions, managing people. It could be parents, it could be colleagues, it could be your spouse.
You play so many different roles.
Yeah, but how do you handle it when you're getting managed?
You just do as you're told. because
Best policy. No?
the wife is always right.
Wife is always right.
The wife is always right. Even when you're driving and the GPS says this is the way to your location.
If the
don't
wife says go left,
go left.
ignore the Google lady.
Ignore the Google lady
Yeah.
and just follow anything that your wife has to say. But then again, you have your days, and there are times when you can get away with everything that you are doing, and then there are days
Yeah.
when you have to surrender.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of both, and
Yeah.
there is absolutely no concept of this happily ever after
Yeah.
is a fairy tale.
Yeah.
In the
That word
practical-
happy is stuck in his mind. I told no that happy ending. So this guy is thinking about that. I hope he doesn't Google about it on the way back home. Like happy ending near me. Please don't. I don't mean to corrupt him. Like I'm a decent guy only.
Yeah, sure.
But
Harsha has told me about all his escapades that he's had. So
When was this? I don't
I'm
drink. I'm just having water.
very aware. of
Ram, I'll ask you
the
one basic
concept.
question,
Yes.
Ram. You are recording a podcast, which is called The New Abnormal. We are talking about why grass is greener on the other side. Have you taken Puni's permission for this? What will happen when she sees the podcast? And what will happen when she sees me talking about all this? She'll be fine because she has worked with me also. She knows that I'm a single guy. What about your fate? What about your destiny? How will you manage?
Yeah, I need to make sure that I'm politically correct here.
Just a word of
At-
caution before
at
we
all
continue
times.
this average
And I need to
podcast.
make sure that I'm playing it safe. No, but Puni is very, very
Even
practical.
if you're not married, you have to play it safe.
Yeah,
You can't take
she's
risks.
she's very practical like that, and she knows. I think that's one advantage of being married to someone who is from the industry.
Right.
She knows very well that hey, recording a show.
She might
doesn't
know
take
about
so
all your
long.
female fans also, no? So many female interns who want to come and work with Mr. Sriram.
Yeah, but
Want-
it works the other way as well, and I don't get into her DMs to see all the messages
Right.
that she's getting as well. Right?
Okay.
So we play it fair like
I'll
that.
ask you one. I agree, Ram. Full respect to what you're saying, but let me ask you one more question. We all know that you're a daddy. You're a wonderful dad. You talk about it, and you're built that way.
I try to be, but
No.
sariyag sigatte.
He's very humble. We all know that. What if one day you get a DM by by a girl who's maybe 20, 22, who's asking you, Daddy, can you be my sugar daddy? Sakre appa. What will your reaction be? Like you're married, no? Like I can at least say, let's discuss. I'll revert to you.
Right.
But what will you say? Papa, poor guy.
Yeah.
Kya bologe aap?
I think I'll just have to let it be in the others folder and not really
Or just forward that message to me.
just forward it to you, which I have done in the past.
Have you?
Yes.
I've never taken it up.
So
I missed
there
that.
have been times when I've put Harsha on air and we've spoken about how he's single.
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
I'm not telling you if I'm single or no. Hello, brother,
and
please.
people get in touch with us saying, hey, what happened to your boss? Is he still single?
Yeah. Then what is your reaction? I don't know. The last time I checked, he was. But knowing the guy, you never know. See, I feel, Ram, there is also a difference between being unmarried and being single. Right? So, right now I'm single. But then the difference is I have a choice to be single or not single. But unfortunately, Mr. Sriram can never be single. Papa.
So this is one advantage where Harsha comes walking into a party with a new person every single
Hey,
time.
I've not done all those things, Appa. Yeah,
He of course has
Just
the
because
liberty
I'm
to
telling
do
some
it.
details, do not spoil my image. I'm still not married. Who knows? I might get married someday. And if they watch this podcast, then immediately Rishta ne cancel ma nahi la paogle.
But
Sorry, go on.
But what about all the pestering which happens? You walk into any family ceremony. I'm sure
That's a bummer,
your
Ram.
marriage
Yes.
and when you're going to get married is the hot topic.
While I do agree that being unmarried has a lot of advantages, being married has a lot of disadvantages, I'm very clear on that. But with this, you hit the nail on the head. That parental pressure is worse than peer pressure. I do understand it from their point of view. Your son is there or your daughter is there. They are a certain age. They want to see them married. They want to see them with a companion who will take care of you when you're not there. All these things will be there. Like you have to take care of each other and all. But to balance these family reunions, I stopped going to marriages like 10 years back. Because in any marriage, rather than saying, come and have this, go and have that chart, okay, stand for this photo.
People have nothing else
They
to
have
talk
just one
about.
question.
Yeah.
They're not bothered about their marriage. They're bothered about your marriage.
Yeah.
And the kind of, and these are triggers for parents, no? The moment they go to some wedding, they come back and they're picturing you in that particular...
That's it. And that's going to be the conversation.
And your peace
all
of mind
throughout.
is gone for the next 2 months.
So let me ask you, have you registered on Bharat Matrimony? Are you on it?
See, I had, But then I found that dating apps were booming, especially during, that
So
reminds me.
you took it offline from
Online,
Matrimony
offline,
to say Bumble.
yes, online,
and
offline,
Tinder.
line, everything. But Ram, that brings me back to one more statistic that I was reading. One more piece of trivia, which says during the 70% of people on dating apps are married. Now, what do you have to say for that? Like, you can understand unmarried people. I have also come across certain colleagues. I can't take their name. They are married. But while swiping,
It's
I have
Prithvi.
found...
It's Prithvi.
Prithvi is there.
Prithvi is omnipresent.
He is starting a dating app.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Shall we take Prithvi's inspiration and थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी बात कर लेते हैं? I know that my Hindi is not so great. Sriram's Hindi is also little bit okay.
Toda. That
thoda,
South Indian. That South Indian touch.
है
for the way
थोड़ा
we
मजा है शादी
speak.
करने में. थोड़ा है ना,
हाँ.
ज़्यादा नहीं है.
हाँ, बहुत है. बहुत है.
या लेकिन बोर हो जाता है.
I'm at that point in life where I'm still not bored.
Okay.
Just 8
How
years.
come what are you doing on the side? You're
Just
not bored. Like
8
what are
years.
your other hobbies, activities, passions? I am not believing this. 8 years. He's saying just 8 years.
Yeah. So now that our daughter is almost turning 4,
Yeah. So you're on that phase
we
where
are in that phase of rekindling the romance, getting to know each other again, and honestly, it feels like my wife is a completely different person because there was that phase.
yeah, because people change after marriage.
Yeah, and there was that phase where I was completely ignored because we had a baby, and understandably so.
Right.
And even I gave more attention to the baby, and now I feel, hey, there is a new person, and we're getting to know each other, and there's no going out of it because you're in it
Right.
for the right reasons.
Right.
So I'm at that phase where it's like, oh wow, now we get to spend more time. Now we get to take our holidays
So tell
because
me
she's
something.
big
Do you
enough.
guys plan secret vacations? Do you ask your parents to kind of take care of
Yes.
Arya? Do you guys slip out somewhere?
Yes.
Act like you were in college?
Yes.
Do you relive those happy times? Because then those times were happy.
Right.
Now, I hope they are. I'm sure they are. But do you do that kind of adventure?
Yes, we do, and I think that's exactly the phase which I'm in right now,
Wonderful.
where we are discovering a
I can
whole
be in
new
that phase
side.
all the time.
That's
Papa, he
true.
has to plan and be in that phase.
That's true. It takes a lot of planning for us to do things because the kid takes priority over everything.
Yeah.
Whereas here you are the kid, and you get to walk into a candy store and do whatever you want.
Yeah, choose any candy. Okay, I'm not going to elaborate on that.
But what's it like on the other side though? Is it easy?
Lot of fun. Freedom.
Is it really?
Because there is
it
an acronym.
Because there are times where you may feel dejected.
Yeah, of course.
There are times where you may feel
that you feel in married life also. No, always you're feeling dejected.
but
Not
you are
Jen.
dejected by this one person, and that is your problem.
In unmarried
Whereas-
life, you feel rejected. Married life, you feel dejected.
Dejected.
One or the other emotion we have to go through.
Right.
But it's an acronym, Ram. Everybody goes to a marriage and whatever gift they carry. Say happy married life. Isn't that an acronym? It is a paradox.
It's an oxymoron.
Oxymoron. yeah, because the guy who is getting into it is probably a moron. Pardon my silly jokes. See, even Rishi is not married.
Yeah.
Rishi, who is like a great friend, he's a JP Nagar guy.
He is
And,
married.
Oh, he is?
Rishi is
Oh,
married.
but the way he projects it, he is very happy.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
believe this.
Rishi
Rishi
is-
will need to talk about this after this podcast gets over.
Rishi is quite the ladies' man. Rishi is, by the way,
he's a
behind the
ladies' man.
camera. Yeah, he's behind the camera. He's recording the whole thing, and
He's a behind the scenes guy. Huh?
I know his wife Amrita, and we hang out quite often.
Okay.
And let me tell you, Rishi has a very smooth way of going
This
about
is,
things.
I have to experiment on this person. He looks very cool. He looks happy and sorted, but he's married.
Rishi-
I've not come across a specimen like
Rishi
this.
goes for the Instagram handles whenever
Of
he
whom?
meets anyone cute.
Okay.
He'll make sure that he connects with them on Instagram.
And does he keep following them?
Yes, more than actually talking to the person physically. I think the digital life
Yeah.
has made dating a
Virtual.
little easy.
But Ram, talking about what happened virtual. We'll come back to Rishi. I need to have a conversation
Yeah.
with him, take some tips because he maintains a very cool psyche.
Yeah.
Inside he's a different guy. We'll need to take tips from this man. Anyway, coming back to our topic, during the entire lockdown, I pity married people. Reason being, like just imagine if you were not married, right?
Yeah.
You have all the time for yourself. You're doing your show from home initially, which is what a lot of our radio jockeys were doing. How much time you'd have had to explore the whole world that's out there? You can date anybody from Mongolia to Magnolia. But now, married, and you have to do double parole at home, stay at home the whole time. I cannot even imagine. That's a bigger pandemic.
Wait a second. It's not like you went anywhere. You were at home.
Correct.
You ended up spending a lot
Digitally.
of time in front of your laptop.
Virtually.
Or on your phone.
Laptop or phone.
On your phone.
Yeah.
So it's not like you went anywhere. And of course, everyone was so paranoid.
Yeah.
But I believe dating sites did really well during
Dating
the pandemic.
sites, huge boom, Ram. Especially during this time, no? I don't know what people were thinking, what people were looking for. Was it a hookup? Was it live-in? Was it just somebody to talk
You
to?
got a combination of it.
Or combination of everything. No?
Right.
So everybody from age 18 to 75, 80, they were on that only.
Yeah, so I want to talk to you about that. See, when I got married, I was 26. Sure, there were sites like Facebook. There was Orkut.
When he said sites, I was thinking he was going to talk about something else.
Yeah,
Thank God,
there
Shantam
were
Papa.
the sites as well. However, I think now it's become a norm, right? And it's almost become so easy for people to connect with one another on the virtual front.
Right.
Whereas when you meet each other face to face, it must be completely different. Like the other person may come across as someone else on the virtual front.
100%.
When you meet them,
It always happens.
they're completely different.
Yeah, that's why some guys and girls have evolved this trick. If they're meeting somebody new, let's say for example they're meeting somebody in a coffee shop at Starbucks or whatever, they will go and spy first. If I don't know, maybe this is mean, maybe this is not the right thing to do. Some polite people will still go have a conversation, but if they feel the person is not really what they had expected the person to be, somehow they'll do an escape from. I've heard some of my friends say that they do this. I don't know if you have ever done this. I'm sure you have
You've
not.
been stood up a few times.
Me? No. I've only stood up a few times.
Good to go.
Hey, we need to cut that.
Super. All right. Coming over to another interesting survey about this person called Glyn Wolf.
Wolf,
God bless his soul. He's dead, and I see why. He holds the record for being married the highest number of times.
How many times?
Largest number of monogamous marriage. Can you
Okay.
take a guess?
36.
36. Oh wow, you're really on the higher side. 29 times. 29 times.
Wow.
And interestingly enough,
Papa.
the last lady he was married to, that lady holds the record for the highest number of marriages a woman has been in.
Oh.
She married this guy, and this person was husband number 23. And after all of that, nobody came for this man's funeral, would you believe?
Oh.
That's a bad sign for being
That's
in
a
a
bad
marriage.
sign, but tell me, Ram, when are you going to try and compete with this guy? Your score is still 1. He's on, 30, what, 29?
He's on 29.
Okay.
No, but like I said, if you've committed a mistake once, you don't want to do it again. You don't want to do
Sriram
it
Surya
again.
agrees all the way.
And you better, if you can't live with one person, then why try and be
That's
with
also
another
true.
person?
If you can't row one boat, probably you can't row any boat. No?
Yeah. Why
I think
even
it's-
keep your feet in two boats?
I think it's certain. Have you kept your feet in 2 boats anytime? 2, 3, 4.
Thankfully, no. In spite of plenty of advances, but no, you don't really want to take it there because of all the promises that you have made, and on top
It's
of
not
that,
worth it, I feel it's just that little mental stress. It's I don't know.
yeah,
That's my
just,
perspective.
you're not in the best position if you are found guilty.
Position. Again, I'm thinking it's a family podcast.
See, this
that
is
guys
what
start
happens when a
if
person
you're not married
is not married.
and you're 40.
You're thinking about things all the time,
Yeah.
whereas I get to focus on different things.
Correct.
I think
I
that's
agree.
also another.
That's an advantage. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point of time, people would say that just get him married. He's going to get more focused in life.
Catch them young and get them married because that's going to take care of their hormones. Then this fellow can focus on profession, on family, on making money, taxes, buying one site in some Jayanagar, something. Yeah.
When we had our baby, one of the thought in my mind was, how old am I going to be when my kid goes to college?
Okay.
And whether...
But you have the answer now.
Yeah. Whether I'm going to look like a grandparent when this kid is still in
I'm sure I will look like a grandparent. If I get married and have a kid, no? He'll say, hey, Yenappa, why have you brought your tata? Where is your daddy? I'll say, no, I'm only the daddy. Okay, go on.
But you, of course, have the advantage of having achieved so much in life and then taking a call on whether you want company.
No.
Like a Salman Khan is a quintessential example, right?
Like
Never
who?
wants to get married
Yeah.
and is still a virgin.
Like me. You know, Ram, I'll tell you this joke once. I think it was somebody in office only. There was this girl who had joined in sales, and we were just sitting in the canteen. We had a canteen back then. We were having some chapati, egg burji, something we were having. And she, out of the random, so she, like, at that time I was like maybe 34, 35, like 4-5 years back. She was like, randomly shoots one question, assuming that I'm married. You have 2 kids. How many kids do you have? I took a little pregnant pause and I said, I don't know. She was stunned and she never asked me the question again. Yeah, because seriously, I don't know. But anyway, let us not get more and more in depth into that topic. I think, Ram, it's been wonderful talking about a topic that's close to each other's hearts.
Yeah.
I think in conclusion, both sides have their merits. It's not that grass is greener on this side or the other.
Yeah.
It's about what we make of it, how we take it. I think it entirely depends on one's perspective.
There are times when I truly
Regret.
envy your
Envy me.
life. Yes.
Yeah.
Because of your travel.
Yeah.
A solo travel is something that I would love to do.
Okay.
And that is something even my wife wants to do.
Yeah, you
because
can't do it
she's had
after
enough
marriage.
of
It's
me.
like, you can't ask somebody else to take your selfie, It's like that. You can't travel solo after you're married.
Yeah.
But I feel, Ram, there are married people who are happy. There are married people who are unhappy.
Yeah.
There are unmarried people who are happy, unhappy.
Yeah.
I think one really needs to de-link marriage with happiness.
Correct.
I think it's all about being happy. It's about being productive,
Yeah.
progressing as an individual. And if you can marry along the way, a companion on the way, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. I think one term that we should do away with is settle. There is
Settle.
nothing. There is nothing
Settle
called
ho jana chahiye.
settle. What is this settle?
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸೆಟಲ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ 35 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು.
ಸೆಟಲ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಲೆ ಚಚ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಆದ್ರೆ
First thing is to be
settle
mentally
ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು.
settled.
Yeah.
Then
More
other
than
settling
anything,
can-
I think marriage is not it's not a checklist that you need to have. You find the right person, you want to spend the rest of your life with this person, go for it, take the dive. Do remember that you are growing as a person, so is the other person, so give them that benefit
Space.
of doubt and space.
Yeah.
I still don't recommend marriage to everyone.
Yes.
If you can
It's
find
not for everyone.
individual peace, nothing like it.
Correct.
I think the
But
way
you would still say give it a shot, no? You'd still say give it a shot.
I would say it has joys that really can't be explained. There are
okay.
beautiful memories that you.
We are getting esoteric now. Joys
Yeah.
that cannot be explained.
There are some really nice memories that you
I'm sure.
make of it.
Okay.
There are times when you want to pull your hair.
Yeah.
It is stressful, but you signed up for it.
There
you
are joyful
want it.
memories that you can make, but joy itself should not become a memory, distant memory.
Yeah, so I'd say choose wisely and have be very respectful.
Okay.
Give each other that space, and if you are happy being on the dating front and you're leading a very
Carry
very
on.
exciting life,
Enjoy.
carry on.
Yeah, until you get caught. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the grand happy ending of the new abnormal, the latest podcast. There is no conclusion. It's just a discussion. It's up to you. If you want to be married, get into it. If you don't want to be married, if you want to be happy, I don't need to say the rest. Thank you, Mr. Sriram Sulya. This is the
Thank you,
new
Harsha.
abnormal with Sriram and Shivaram. RJ Sriram Sulya and ex-RJ Harsha Shivaram. Thank you, Sriram.
Thanks
Is it
so
time
much,
to go
guys.
back home to the wife?
Yeah.
I can go anywhere.
Yeah, go anywhere you want. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Not to catch anything.
Yes.
I'm not talking about
safety
COVID.
measures.
Yeah.
You're talking. Yeah, I know. Yeah. The entire definition of safety has changed now. Thanks, Sriram. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay.